1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I wanted to ask you about some of the other companies in Japan that practice lean or practice TPS, because it's called the Toyota system. I mean, doesn't Honda practice basically the same thing? Isn't there other companies that that model
absolutely.
Toyota?
Honda is very strong on this. Very strong on this.
And are they as successful, or do you look at them as let's say, as successful as Toyota in their own way?
Oh, absolutely. I'm not a car buff, but people I know who are, I think they make the best cars in the world. Absolutely. I think that the difference that I see, and bearing in mind I've not studied the case of Japanese companies in detail at all, this is just my opinion, but the difference I see is that many of these companies understand this notion of Kaizen and personal Kaizen, but Toyota is the only one who has a system to direct it, which is the Jidoka and just-in-time and standardized work in Kaizen as a system. So it gives direction to the efforts. I think that's a big difference. For instance, as I understand it, Honda doesn't practice Heijunka. And of course, when you don't practice Heijunka, your Kaizen is directed in other things. But there are two. In the old days, they used to talk about two different things, which one is production technique and manufacturing technique. Production technique is about making the parts that makes the engine. So making the machine that makes the parts that makes the engine. And I worked with suppliers working for Honda, and these guys were such incredible engineers that sometimes we came up with some over-complex solution, and they never stopped us because it was fine for them. We couldn't realize it in the end, but it was fine for them. They were so good. They were really very good. But in manufacturing terms, which is the whole flow of parts, the whole flow of product and so forth, they weren't that great. They weren't interested that much. They still batched, and they just didn't look at it. So I think, again, back to this discussion we had, there is individual Kaizen, and there's the alignment of your Kaizen with the overall challenge. And this is important because, yes, the CEO defines the challenge. And in TPS, in Toyota, the TPS defines the challenges. It's defined by reveal your mistakes, pull, and reduce the lead time. And what I practice with CEOs comes in four themes, which is very straightforward. Is 1, protect your customer. 2, control your lead time. 3, reduce your lead time. 4, realize all the cost savings from eliminating waste. So we have a direction for the challenges and Kaizen efforts.
After you do this for 5 or 10, 15 years, you should be getting pretty good at it. There shouldn't be that much improvement left, should there?
Well, I'm sure you've noticed, Joe, that the world is exactly the same way it was 10 or 15 years ago. Nothing has changed, right?
Oh, it's changed a little.
It's changed a little. So what doing this for a long time develops in you is a true appreciation of how much things change and how much things are interconnected. And this is what is the constant mystery of it all, is that there's always something to improve because you turn your back on reality and it went away you didn't expect. And also you develop a much stronger deeper appreciation of how everything is interconnected. So there's the biggest room for the biggest room is still room for improvement. There's no debate there.
soon.